Hey guys, this is Spare Change, stacking pennies with Corey the Joy, alongside Ryan Flores. We are rolling to Iowa this week. Inaugural event for the NASCAR Cup Series going there, but we've seen a lot of racing from Iowa over the last, 10 to 15 years. But I think it's pretty cool to see the Cup Series go there. It was built with the intention of having a Cup Series event. It just took a lot longer than what anybody anticipated, I believe, to get it there. And who knows if it was maybe potentially Montreal deal falling through or whatever, schedule stuff. Well, nonetheless, here we are. We're going to the cornfields at Iowa.
Yep, love it. I love it. And I, like you, we both won races there before. I've won this Picker guy with the 22 Xfinity car. They gave us Casey's Pizza in Victory Lane that we shared with the fans. And you won with old Catfish. I see Catfish up on the screen. Just eating on the bottom.
Just eating, bro.
Who are you racing here?
Kyle Larson driving the 6 with Rev Racing.
We got by you.
I've never seen anybody else run the fence like that in my life. I looked up there, I'm like, what's he doing?
Oh, tired?
What's he doing up there? We race hard, but my stuff was so fast that night.
They introduced, that's Kyle Larson, high, wide, and handsome. We introduced him to Catfish, creeping around the bottom.
Just hunkered down on the
low
white
light left.
Yeah,
that car was awesome.
He picks up the biggest win of his career here at the Iowa Speedway.
Derek Prince-Sigley on the mic.
Look at the band of characters there.
RJ Autos.
Jeez.
Oh, Dougie.
Dougie, shout out Doug
Rest his
Schnard.
soul.
Steve-O.
Yeah, that was a good group, man.
With the biggest win of your career with a race tonight that you dominated.
Yeah, it definitely feels good to have a car that good. I've never had a car that good compared to everybody else, but I just can't thank Dewey Ford, Sims Metal Management, LaJoy Scrap Metal enough for sticking by us through the ups and downs, and definitely tonight's definitely a big up.
Definitely.
It's definitely
a big up. Yeah, that's
put the work in on behind the microphone since then as well. 12 years ago.
That's a cool victory lane. That's just a cool track.
The old Casey's.
Casey's victory lane. I don't know if it's still Casey's.
I don't know,
but
it was.
It was a lot of repavement. A lot of it's
they
kind of
paved
patchy.
the 3 lanes. A little bit of confusion as to what the rhyme or reason was there, but it's going to be a variable. The joints and how the cars are going to go across the bumpy old asphalt to the really locked down fast asphalt. There was a tire test a couple weeks ago. I had dinner with. I happened to be at the same barbecue joint in St. Louis as Cliff. Sat next to Cliff. Had dinner with him. We talked about the tire test a little bit. Divulged some information, not too much, just enough to help us out. But it's hard when 3 cars, 1 per OEM, goes to do a tire test. You're not getting, obviously, 36 cars out there rubbering the track up, so the track's going to go through a bunch more swings when we go. Cliff said it was just very slick with the new asphalt, needs to be rubbered in, so it was glued to the bottom.
Yeah.
But I don't anticipate, I think it'll be multiple lanes.
You guys got practice this week?
Yes. I'd imagine it's another 50-minute session.
Yeah. Is that on Friday?
I got a question for you. Sitting here looking at it. So Iowa is, for those who don't know, Iowa is a 7/8 mile. I would say medium to moderate banking. And I would almost consider Phoenix more of a short track than Iowa. What considers a short track a short track?
So I don't really, if we're being honest, I don't consider anywhere we go cup racing a short track other than Martinsville and Bristol. I consider them short tracks.
Richmond toes the line.
Just because it's wore out, but it's it's not when you're when you go race Riverhead, right?
Yeah.
Like when the modifieds go to Richmond, they don't consider it a short track, so it just depends on what you're scaling it off of.
True.
So I don't know. For us, it's a shorter track.
Iowa's not a short track.
Okay.
I think we're gonna be hauling ass.
Under a mile.
Yeah.
Is Dover a short track?
No. That's a scary.
Loud in a short track?
That's a scary one. No.
So I'm not real sure. It just depends on what you're gauging it off of, right? Like if you go race Stafford every week and then you go to Riverhead, it's a short track.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just shorter than the track.
It's just shorter. But if you race, and then Stafford seems really big, but if you race at Daytona, and then you go to Stafford, you're like, oh,
This is the shortest track.
you know. So it depends on what you're gauging it off of. Hopefully, I don't care what it is. I hope it's a good race.
Yeah. I think it will be because
Night
generally
race.
7 p.m. on Sunday.
Yeah,
Late one.
late one.
Got to chug a Celsius before that one to get her fired up. Under the lights, I don't know. It is what it is. But I wish there was a day race to kind of – it would make the track a bit wider. I think cooler temps under the lights is going to keep her locked down on the bottom.
This next-gen car likes repaves.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you what, my Iowa story, I was on that flight back that we all thought we were going to die on. The scariest flight I've ever been on, where we had to wear our oxygen masks.
Oh.
And we flew through, so we go to Iowa the day after the Coke 600 or the All-Star race, whenever it was. We ran the All-Star race on Saturday night, and then we'd run Iowa on Sunday. So everybody would be all like, oh, get to the plane. We get to everybody's at Concord Airport. The plane breaks down. They fly in a new plane. We all get on that plane. We fly to Iowa. We get there late, just right before the race, do the race. Go back to the airport. They're like, hey, good news. The plane that was broke, we fixed it. It'll be here in a minute. We all get on it, right? We take off.
Did anybody be like, hey, are you sure?
Not really. We had an option. It's not like you go there and get a rental car. Like, I don't know. This one kind of smells like cigarettes. Give me another.
Yeah, that's true.
So we get on this other plane. And it was a big 737 at the time, the company that they were leasing from. All the teams flew together. So it was like...
Just Miami Air?
Yeah, Concierge, whatever it's called. So we get up to cruising altitude. And mind you, there was So we get up to cruising altitude, and like right when everybody starts falling asleep, it's like... Get hit in the head with the oxygen mask. Like, ladies and gentlemen, we have lost cabin pressure, and we are going down to 10,000 feet. It's like, whoa. So then we go down... got our oxygen masks on. Like, it's okay. Well, then there was like all those hellacious storms going through Joliet the same day. It was like when Joliet, Missouri got hit by all those tornadoes. So we had to navigate through all that. Like, we flew through all that. Like, I mean, this thing was dropping 1,000 feet at a time. Like, wah, pow. Like, it was like the worst roller coaster you ever been on. Ugh. I remember guys were like passing around bottles of alcohol.
Crying.
It was the scariest single flight I've ever, and it bounced all the way back at 10,000 feet from Iowa to Concord until we bounced off the runway and we got out. And it was
Did
like,
you kiss the ground at Concord?
I was just like, well.
See you next week.
But it's such a hopeless feeling. You're just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, can't do nothing about it.
Ride this one out. But yeah, that was like, that would have been like half of the Xfinity field was on the plane. But we've won some races, like I said, with Blaney.
We were going to Iowa. We flew commercial one time. We drove out there once, but we flew when the old man splurged. He bought us all plane tickets, and I think we flew to that one that you guys just heard. But Dad's way of splurging was buying the last row, right?
The very last row.
The very last row of the plane, and there was 3 and 3, and my brother came with us, and Steve-O and me and Dad, and Casey always has something to say. Nice job, Dad. What did you get? The cheapest tickets on the plane in the very back. And Dad said, I ain't never seen one of these motherfuckers back into a crash.
Epic Randy LaJoy line.
Cool. I guess that's an interesting theory, Pop. Thanks for that. Not only, there's a lot of guys that have won at Iowa. A lot of guys know where victory lane is there. You know what the list is? I got the list right here. Brad Keselowski and Stenhouse both probably the active leaders with 3 dubs in the Xfinity Series apiece. Also with one of the most spectacular NASCAR finishes of all time when Ricky blows up, oils the track down, Carl Edwards smashes into the back of him. Still watching replays of that to this day. I'm sure we're going to see that about no less than 300 times this week leading up to Iowa. Chris Bell, 2 wins in Xfinity. This is also the place where probably changed the trajectory of Ryan Preece's life. Put all the chips on the table, got a couple investors together, bought that race, maybe 2 or 3 race deal with Gibbs, gets the dub, and kind of got his career back going. So Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Chris Buescher, Chase Briscoe, Ryan Preece, Will Byron, and Eric Jones all have one win there, either an Xfinity car or truck. So there's a lot of fellas rolling into Iowa with some confidence.
Yep, sold out both days. It's going to be electric. Like you said, you got a Stack and Penny show. I won't be there, but you will be joined by a Hall of Famer on the premise.
It's going to be fun. Look forward to it. So you will not want to miss that. Come check that out. and come hang out with us. We'll probably have some Arctic stuff to give away. We're going to have a lot of good stuff, or just a warm smile and a handshake. I do have that to offer and play. And just like you guys, keep showing up, listen to us each and every week, stacking pennies with us. Going Iowa this weekend, Sunday, 7 p.m. on NBC.